books for kids, read by flying dragons, the Wiggles Museum Adventure. A visit to the museum is a big adventure. There is so much to uncover, woofed Wags. Don't you mean discover? Said Captain Feathersword. Not for a dog, winked Wags. Let's get digging. The Wiggles were excited about their day together at the museum. What would they do first? Let's have a drink in the cafe, suggested Anthony, and decide where we will begin. Everyone had so many ideas about what they wanted to see and do. I want to see how everything works, said Sam. I want to hear everything, added Murray. I want to see everything, danced Dorothy. Where do you think we will find museum treasures? Asked the captain. I've enjoyed planning our visit, but I think it's time to get moving, laughed Anthony. Just look at that big engine, gasped Wags. I wonder why it's called number 1. I'm going to read the label. If we take our time, we can talk about the things we find, said Jeff. I was told at the entry where I can take photographs, said Henry. Stand still, Captain, so I can take one of you. Oh no, I've lost my handbag, and it's my favourite bag too. Everyone spoke at once. Don't worry, Dorothy, they said. We'll find it. Let's go this way. Smell this engine, woofed Wags. My nose tells me it runs on steam. When steam engines were invented, they changed the world, explained the steam engineer who was oiling the engine. My handbag smells like roses, said Dorothy a little sadly, remembering her lost handbag. Don't worry, Dorothy, woofed Wags, taking her hand. We'll find it. Let's go this way. Look at this car, exclaimed Sam. I wish I could drive it. It was designed by an Australian engineer, said Dorothy, reading the information on the label. And it runs on energy from the sun. Imagine that! My handbag was made by a Designosaurus, said Dorothy a little sadly, and it always made me feel bright. Don't worry, Dorothy, smiled Sam. We'll find it. Let's go this way. Woohoo, me hearties, here are some pretty things, enthused Captain Feathersword. I can see gold, silver, pearls, vases, and little paintings. Who needs to search for buried treasure when it's always here in the museum, hey? I like this vase, said Dorothy. It has roses on it, just like my handbag. Don't worry, Dorothy, the captain comforted her. We'll find it. Let's go this way. I like looking at family photographs and talking about how people lived in the olden days, said Anthony. Look, here's a picture of an old-fashioned ball dress. It's beautiful, agreed Dorothy. Remember when I lent my handbag to Fairy Claire to take to the fairy ball? It has my family photos inside it too, she added sadly. Don't worry, Dorothy, said Anthony softly. We'll find it. Let's go this way. I'm sure we'll find it soon, said Murray. But look at those guitars and ukuleles and mandolins. And look at this one, he added, stopping in front of a big glass case. This is an instrument I've never heard. Don't you mean never heard of it? Asked Dorothy. Murray shook his head. I've heard of it, he replied, but I've never heard it played. The label says it's a dulcimer, said Wags. It's about the same size as my handbag too, sighed Dorothy. I wish I knew where it was. Don't worry, Dorothy, said Murray, patting her shoulder. We'll find it. Let's go this way. My handbag is just the right size for me. It fits under my arm and it's so comfortable to carry, said Dorothy as the friends moved along. That's right, Dorothy, nodded Jeff. Design is about how things work, not just what they look like. I dream about how things work. I dream about, and he gave a big yawn. Wake up, Jeff, laughed Dorothy. You'll love these little buildings. They're like doll houses. I bet the designer made the models to show people how the buildings might work. And look once they're finished. And look at those flowers. They're just like the flowers in my garden. And on my handbag, she added forlornly. The whole museum is distracting us from finding your handbag, said Jeff gently. But don't worry. Dorothy will find it. Let's go this way. The Wiggles and their friends turned a corner and Wags read another sign. Look, he barked. Here's an exhibition about us. Everyone clustered around another glass case. Dorothy squealed in delight. Look, she laughed. There it is. We put it in a showcase with other handbags so it would be safe, explained a museum gallery officer. How did they know it was your handbag, Dorothy? Asked Henry. I don't know, smiled Dorothy. A lucky guess, I suppose. The Wiggles exhibition. As well as Dorothy's handbag, there are lots of remarkable things to see in the Wiggles exhibition. The Wiggles are holding some of them here. Jeff's old suitcase that he used for carrying the Wiggles merchandise, the violin Anthony played as a child, a singing Sam doll, and the guitar Murray played as a child. About the Wiggles exhibition. It's at the Powerhouse Museum in Sydney, where we live, very close to the Wiggles. It's actually a permanent exhibition now, and you can go there any time. There's lots of things to do. So if you're ever visiting Sydney, please do make your way to the Powerhouse Museum and you'll enjoy the Wiggles exhibition. And they now have all sorts of other Wiggles merchandise as well, from the new Wiggles, from Emma and Lockie and Simon as well. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit subscribe below to Books for Kids by Flying Dragons. See you soon.